Greetings, I am Lies, and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal, and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together.
Ha 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 ha.
Alright, so I'm just like, I feel like even if Volta's gonna be quiet, I cannot imagine Volgora going quietly up to that good stand.
I cannot.
And not saying anything. Like, as well as not bickering amongst themselves, or like even Volta just being worried and nervous and uncomfortable. Like,
Well, Volgora going, don't show weakness or some shit.
Something, or just being like, you know, I don't know, I just, it doesn't make any sense that their characters wouldn't say anything in this time, based on what I've learned of their characters. But at any rate...
Case closed. The crowd gasps and murmurs. I can tell they're starting to believe Valerius.
The crowd...
This is all it takes. The crowd is easily swayed.
Let me tell you these things. Do you have proof that no one could see her? That no one knew where she was? Do you have proof that Julian was in a secret hidden dungeon?
I can tell that they're starting to believe Valerius. Valerius has said 2 lines.
And that those 2
lines... Is he
lines
supposed to just be like...
theoretically should require proof.
Yeah.
Going, no one has done that. All of us are MCs of a game. The whole crowd are basically MCs of their own visual novel, so he's expositing truth of the universe, and they know this.
Oh, shit, right.
That's it. All right, here we go. We're starting to believe Valerius.
Excellent. Nadia seems unperturbed, clearing her throat to address the council.
Consul.
The consul. Yes,
yeah.
not the council, the consul.
Consul Valerius, you say I had motive, and yet you did not clarify what exactly that was. This is the part I care about.
This is what I want. I mean, honestly, that's a good point. What was my motive? You say I had motive. You need to be exactly clear with what you're talking about.
Yes. Not only so sure, you're going to tell everyone there's a secret dungeon that I had the key to and that no one knew where I was, despite it being a giant-ass party. It's fine. I can imagine someone in the crowd being like, but I saw her at that party 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, or whatever. What do you mean no one knew where she was? We had tea, we shared a drink together. I stood next to her by the cocktail shrimp. And whatever. What that was.
A vicious smile spreads across the consul's lips at the question. He takes a sip of his wine in triumph. Why, Countess, I thought it should be obvious. Everyone who lived in this fair city 3 years ago knows how much you despise your husband. It wasn't exactly a mystery at court, nor in the city proper. Frankly, you should have been arrested ages ago. Isn't the spouse always the culprit?
Frankly, you should have been arrested ages ago. He doesn't even want to go, isn't it a bit suspicious that you disappeared for 3 years right after he died?
I mean, that would be one thing I'd be like, well, like, okay, cool. So I killed him and then I disappeared for 3 years? That's a weird thing to do.
It's also a weird thing not to mention. Going, clearly she's guilty since she disappeared for 3 years.
Yeah.
Unless we're saying
like
again,
I said, and you can also twist it the other way going, wow, well, if it was supposed to be that big of a deal and I hated him that much, why would I fucking disappear then for 3 years? Smart ass!
Well, why wouldn't I disappear while he was alive?
Or at least I was asleep for a year.
Any of that, but going, does the city literally not know that she hasn't been ruling or present or visible for 3 years? Like, did they never...
I don't know what she's been doing. God, I don't know. It's fine. I don't understand this.
What if? What if, without ever telling us, the game players, ever, what Valerius did was when he assumed the position of regent, the announcement to the city was that she's in deep mourning and has abstained from her duties until which time as that concludes. And everyone's believed that she's been in profound personal mourning, not leaving her room for 3 years, and then she suddenly just comes out with a bang. Emperor's New Groove style.
I have no idea.
I'm like, what? Also, why wouldn't you use that as incriminating evidence? Like, it's right there. It's the whole big crux of the story. She hasn't been leading or present for 3 years.
Done!
All right, culprit. I do not deny, Lucio, and I had our differences. But dislike for a man is no proof of murder. People dislike you, good sir.
Should they all be tried and hanged for a possible murder?
Are we expecting they're all going to run up to the stand and try to murder you? Have you been evading continual murder attempts, good sir? Yes, here we go! Everyone disliked him. This is cute, though. Otherwise, everyone in court, including you, Consul, would be on trial for his death. I want the audience to laugh so freaking hard.
Yeah,
I just want them to laugh.
Yes! The ripple of assent that rolls through the crowd tells me Nadia's words have struck true. Well, yeah, just wandering around is pretty obvious, like, in that, like, sort of way.
Everyone.
The fact that people still talk about Lucio, even if he's been gone for 3 fucking years.
And that they all hate him.
Yes!
And there's all just like, hate that guy in
Finally,
particular.
the random side conversations come into play and actually have some weight.
Yep.
Sigh.
The other people have voices.
It looks like it's my turn. I just need to find the weak link.
What?
Question Volgora, question Volta, question Valerius.
I mean, Valerius is the only one who's speaking, but we have said that Volta's a mess.
We have, but that doesn't mean Volta's also very good at this, because as far as I can tell, the other ones are kind of aware that she's a fucking mess. And going, hi, you're adorable, literally let's not tell you anything, because you will not be able to do jack shit.
It would just be really weird to have his silent flanking party suddenly be with someone you question. On the other hand, you did call all of them to the witness stand, so...
Also, I think, like, Corazon is like, I will fucking take on your big head. Oh, you think you're so good at this? Like, I'll talk to Valerius. Why, I don't care one single fuck about Volgora or Volta. Volta's just sort of cute.
Also,
let it be like, you're sort of weirdly harmless in that sort of strange way.
We also know
despite
that
people starving in the street.
This is Valerius' idea.
Of course it is.
So it'd be appropriate to start him.
Let's just go with Valerius. Question Valerius. Consul Valerius. Are you so sure Nadia was the only one with access to the dungeons?
He didn't say she was the only one, he just said she did have access.
Well,
When
the thing
did
is,
he imply?
no, but the thing is by saying she had access to the dungeon, well then you need to tell me, is she the only one then that had access to the dungeon? So I'm trying to disassemble your story, you're going, it was just her. By omitting all that, you could imply that it's just her.
Okay, but again, I just, the assertion of, are you so sure that she was the only one? I'm like, he never said she was the only one. So he
that's the thing is
could.
you're looking for him to counter that going, you're having going, was she the only one who had access?
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, though, if that'd be considered, like, leading the witness. There's a lot of stuff, like, language-wise that's really important to not get people muddied in. But, like, yeah, it's interesting. There is one other who had access.
We're literally saying that every day, every one of the doctors who came to research medicine had to be let in by a specific person because they didn't even have their own key cards. I mean, keys.
You mean Valdemar?
Yeah, apparently.
The crowd gasps.
Not only have we just learned there's a dungeon, but we've learned that 2 people can open it.
And we actually paid attention for once, because they already mentioned the dungeons once.
As I said, we've already learned that, and now we know this.
Beside me, Nadia clears her throat and addresses Valerius.
Why would you not mention them, then? It seems foolhardy to accuse me on such a baseless claim.
Valerius raises an eyebrow, and then takes a long drink of wine. He doesn't speak until the glass is nearly drained.
Question. Why? Okay. I appreciate the whole, like, Julian was the murderer, you would have let him out of the basement. Okay, but what was Julian's motive? Why would anyone have known that he wanted to kill the Count at all? So letting him out, like, in any of this connection, I got nothing.
Because that would be You actually spelled Questor wrong? Quaes, right?
I don't... It looks like Questor.
I think it was Questor. Hang on.
Hold on.
What the fuck?
Oh, we might have just read this completely wrong the whole time.
I'm like, hang a minute.
Questor. Let's find out.
That's Questor.
I think so.
I thought he was Questar. Hang on.
Hold on.
Or they
Maybe
were.
I was wrong. That they were.
I think they're using both. They're using both. I know, because it both means the same thing. So Questor and Questor are the same thing.
So,
or roughly the same thing. Because,
maybe they're switching back and forth?
Yeah, because
anyway.
A Questor was any number of officials who had charge of public revenue and expenditure.
Right.
Which was deeply fucking funny about Valdemar, because Valdemar was the doctor.
I love that your doctor is in charge of your money. It's okay.
It seems reasonable, right?
I mean, I always thought it was interesting going, you appointed your court doctor and medical technicians, like expert, to be in charge of the city's finances.
Why not?
I guess. Public health care!
Hey! Wait.
Oh. All right.
Hi, Questor Valdemar, who I am sure you are aware, was with the other courtiers, and thus has an alibi.
You mean the other courtiers who aren't you, or you?
Damn, we were close. But it seems like Valerius has an answer for everything. We'll need to find something solid to trip him up.
Consul Valerius, something you said has bothered me greatly.
Oh, do enlighten me. Perhaps I can clear things up for you, Countess.
Based on his freaking illustration, he is downing so many glasses of wine.
Oh yeah, this dude is... But that's the other thing, too. Now that they've actually called attention to it, I'm like, I just took it kind of as a joke. Of being like, here's sort of this thing, and I'm going, he's basically a consummate alcoholic. Somehow who can even fucking function. Which sounds bonkers, even for this era, unless it's so heavily watered down.
Maybe it's incredibly weak wine.
Ugh. Well, because the thing is usually really weak wine also sometimes can taste really bad.
It can. You claim I had motive to kill Lucio, and access to the dungeon where I could direct a doctor as a missile to kill him. Yet why would I seek out Dr. Dvorak to accomplish such a feat?
So the thing that also kills me is I'm like, I don't know whether or not you were supposed to figure out the right answer there. And I wonder, like, I'm not specifically trying to go for a specific end here, but I'm kind of going, but I couldn't pick the subject that we would talk to Valerius on. All you can do is question this one or question that one. About what? Who knows? We'll write in the rest, which just is frustrating. Again, when you're like, our character seems to magically know how this works.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fine.
Pretty much. All right. Yet why would I seek out Dr. Dvorak to accomplish such a task? Exactly. If I wanted to hire an assassin, why the hell would I pick a plague-ridden medical person?
Also,
he was but one of many doctors working in the palace.
how very unlike you to lie in front of the entire city, Countess.
There were no other doctors.
The whole court can attest that you were working closely with Dr. Dvorak on a number of projects.
Where was her lie? Did she say I barely knew him? No. Did she say I wasn't working with him? No. She said, why would I go to him?
That's not a lie.
That's not a lie. What are you talking about, sir?
Sir? What?
I am confusion.
Yeah, it's fine. Aqueducts, city improvements, you know, normal doctor things. Perhaps you decided together that Count Lucio's death would also benefit the city.
I also love the level of just like layering things together and going, the important thing here is that we have a doctor in charge of our finances and that we have a doctor that we want to consult for our infrastructure. Doctoring is just expanded its reaches. Either that or they just have...
It's like barber surgeons.
Right, it's just very, very complex. But also just going either that or they just really, really lead complex, deeply, educated lives in many fields.
Which is really funny because they really do treat Julian like he's a dumb fuck.
He genuinely himself that way too. Well, like he's like,
I'm saying the narrative, which also includes him,
it's true,
tells you that he's a dumb fuck.
That he doesn't know what he's
doing.
That he doesn't,
and he's about leeches, and here's the meme jokes about the leeches, insert here. Like, I honestly was deeply frustrated that for pretty much most of that, it was only when we specifically got into the tower scene, and wasn't that a premium thing?
I don't remember.
I can't even remember, but we're in the tower, and he finally does something that was remotely in the field that he said that, or that they implied that he was involved in regards to physics, and let's pay attention to how
like being a researcher and a scientist.
Yeah, and that was it.
All right. Also benefit
the city. A small flicker of shock passes over Nadia's face before she quickly shuts it down.
Her eyes were glowing red. Wing!
Wing! Her eyes have been red this whole time.
Shh.
Oh my
Sometimes they look brighter than others.
That's because they're whiter and they're not as covered by shadow.
I know, but it just looks brilliant sometimes.
Okay. This time, I'm the one who reaches out and takes her hand, holding it tightly.
Had she reached out and taken your hand previously during this trip?
That was beforehand, remember? She holds my hand and we commented going, why are we needing comforting from Nadia?
That's fair, that's fair.
Okay. I need to distract the crowd while Nadia gathers herself again.
So...
For reasons,
well, we hold both hands with each other. You can question him again. Do you ask something different?
I kinda wanna do it again!
Because, again, we're not... Well, the thing is I need to distract the crowd. Not I need to do something useful or meaningful or helpful. I just need to distract the crowd. So you're not going to be asking anything important. Why not just question him again?
Why not? Valerius is the one who's I don't see Corazon going like, oh yes, this thing. Like it was
again,
before.
The other two haven't said a single word. It's as if they're statues.
Which is really weird.
For both of their personalities? Yes.
I gotta do Valerius again, screw that. Consul Valerius, how do you know that Nadia had access to the dungeons? It's simple, you dull thing. She is the Countess. The palace is her home. And you also live here, so what are you fucking talking about?
So you're saying everyone who makes a home there has access to it?
Right? Either she is so incompetent as to not have control of her own household, or she had a key, and is therefore guilty of the crime.
So we're saying if she's incompetent, she's innocent? So we're saying we can plead incompetence. Done! She's been asleep, so she's incompetent.
Right? I nearly burst... Unless you're just supposed to basically fail this aggressively, and then Nadia is supposed to come in and save the day because you're actually supposed to be a goofball
Again,
in this one.
you're not supposed to be actually... I have another idea. It's I need to distract the crowd while she gathers herself. We're saying we're not doing anything. Like, the MC literally was not... I know a new line of questioning. I have another idea. It's I need to distract the crowd.
Also, you know what I'm dying?
What?
Here's this person who's going to represent me. Here, let me talk for myself.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I'm like...
You're not letting them represent you.
It's okay.
And by that, what I mean is they're going to give me emotional support.
Hear me, pep. I give you boob support.
I
nearly burst out in defense of Nadia. No, I don't. But her hand, which is still there, is still resting lightly over mine because we were still holding hands.
Except for, honestly, she held my hand, then I reached out and held her hand. We're honestly holding all four of our hands together now while we're doing this.
She shakes her head softly.
Let us not engage the consul's boorish behavior any longer. Corazon.
Are you just trying to piss him off now?
Take it away. But
they're also, like, stop talking to him!
Again, though, weirdly...
Why not?
So, Corazon said, I need to distract the crowd while Nadia gathers herself. Corazon, or the MC, has admitted, I have no ideas. I don't know what to do. I've stopped looking for the weak link. I'm just trying to distract the crowd.
It's fine.
That is what they've said their internal plan is. Question Volta. Or Volgora is going to be angry about things, but try Volta.
Volta's the easy one. Procurator Volta.
What do you want?
Volta jumps, startled at being addressed, and clutches at her face.
Which is mostly all she ever does, really.
Procurator Volta. Fuck the air. Did you really see Nadia in Count Lucio's wing that night?
The way it said I thought it was actually a title abbreviation, like Mr. or something. I really did. Yes,
did I say
that? Valerius clears his throat and leans forward. I believe Volta has already testified as such. You are wasting our time with this silly line of questioning.
Wherein anyone in the audience who actually cares and is paying attention goes, she hasn't spoken a word this entire trial. What do you mean she's already testified as such? Because evidence collected prior to a trial that have never been admitted to the trial and then presented at trial are not relevant to trial. Unless you're doing a weird-ass system and going, well, if I'm aware of it and I can tell you that, none of this matters. Also, if you're doing it by jury, the jury needs to see all the damn evidence.
Because that's how it works. You have to present it, dumbass, for it, and then you have to submit it so that it can be used as evidence for the... It's fine.
Yep.
But again, we don't know how the system works.
We don't know how their trial is, and so it hasn't been explained. We can only assume that it's kind of like real-world trials, but clearly it's not, so I don't know.
I hear a huff beside me, and turn to see Nadia narrowing her eyes.
I'll thank you not to interrupt, Consul.
Question Volta again.
Hey, and it changed this time.
Procurator Volta. Before I can get another word out, Volta interrupts me, eye wide and wobbly.
Oh, Countess! I'm so sorry! The consul, he made me say it! My beloved and beautiful and snack-providing Countess is innocent!
Since when does Volta simp for the Countess? Huh?
I mean, we had that weird establishing, like, again, I'm like, we do know, honestly, like, we know so much less of the courtiers in this particular run.
Yeah.
Which I think is really
weird, because we're actually in the palace in this run.
I've actually been really bad with this. I was like, where the fuck is Valdemar? I haven't seen them once.
Nope.
Since actually starting, like, Nadia's whole thing.
I don't think they exist.
I don't think they do either. And I'm like, it's sort of charming, but it's also bizarre.
It's really weird.
Going like, what?
Also, again, like, Volta, you sound like you simp for the Countess.
Like a lot.
Since when?
She feed me.
Okay.
She do it is innocent.
Gasps roll through the crowd as an uproar slowly takes hold.
1, we don't actually know what she said. 2, it was never presented what she said. 3, she says the thing that she said that no one knows what is a lie. Valerius said she said a thing.
All right.
The Countess is innocent.
Why are you wasting our time, then?
Maybe we should send this to court instead.
You must all be silent. You are too loud. I hate it.
Even Vlastimir's insistent gavel bangs cannot calm the crowd.
What else is trying to calm
Valerius
the crowd?
is pissed.
Slams. Oh.
Oh.
Ow. Ow, sir.
Hey, bro.
Ow.
Hey, bro, are you trying to pull Leonardo DiCaprio, which was deeply edgy as fuck, and you could have given somebody a blood disease? Please don't do that shit.
Crush the glass and ow? My consul, how clumsy. You have a bad habit of spilling wine. I spilled the tea, just like I have a bad habit of spilling tea. Oh no.
Incompetent.
Why?
Disgusting.
Would you ever choose them as your alliance? To be honest, if you know they're a weird, I assume supernatural kind of mess, why not choose someone who's outside of the court and simply bribe them?
Does Valerius actually know?
God,
Again,
what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't know?
That's the question is, how many of these people actually know? So again, that thing we keep asking, going, how much of this is actually diegetic, and how much is just like us making assumptions?
Do they look completely normal or not?
Yes.
Oh, the blood tally increases because we were ticking off before, everyone covered in blood.
We bleed.
Am I the only one in the city capable of keeping it together? You're all furious.
You take that back. I am extremely calm and put together.
I've been silent this entire time and haven't even responded to the fact that you took a speech.
I'm a good
you led the
fucker.
way. Yes.
I am a good gremlin. Screw you. Well, you two indeed yell quite a lot, vulgar. I have never yelled in my life.
I was resonant and thoughtful
And powerful and beautiful.
Projected.
The witness stand starts to erupt into chaos. Vlastimil bangs his gavel insistently. I love that. So basically going after Valerius is just impossible. You can't, because he has every answer. I mean,
Except for you don't ask that many questions.
You really don't. I was also like, why would you ask those questions?
You have very few ideas on what kind of questions to ask. On the other hand, again,
I know what to ask. I know what to do. Oh God,
this isn't your specialty at all.
Nope. It's fine.
Insistently. Silence! Silence!
Vlastimil banging his gavel insistently like a little bitch.
Gently cradling Princess Worm in one arm and banging the gavel aggressively in the other arm.
Trying to hide them from the noise.
From the noise. To tuck them into his, big poofy sleeves.
Uh-huh.
Volta! This is the first I've heard of this. I've never heard of this before. What are you saying? I, who should be in a completely different position, and also, this thing that you've presented hasn't been presented to the crowd, so I have no connection to it, am trying to distance myself from you.
Of course.
Even though in this scenario, you're not connected to them.
I mean, he's a part of the court. Perhaps we should put the court on trial, so that would include him.
Weirdly enough, are we suggesting, again, without giving any evidence as to any of the behavior of any of the court at all, nor that we've been investigating them, going to suggest that, one, they're a single entity and should be handled as one person, as if the court and all of their really different positions makes them one person.
I do still really have to say that was so freaking baffling to have Volta just blab so weirdly, like performatively, it felt like, for us behind the painting.
That we don't have any evidence.
Yeah, I was like,
why would she say that?
Volta has never done shit like that, ever. And I don't think in Julian's route, even for the little bit that we saw her, she never showed such favor even to Nadia.
Or to anyone. She's just food.
And I'm not saying that you can't show different aspects of characters, but I'm also just like, this is super weird. Yeah. So she just blabs her ass off constantly? Like, I know that basically she doesn't seemingly really want to be involved in much of anything, which is fair. But it's also like, this kind of thing is like, seems too far for her.
Is she somehow an expositional character all of a sudden?
Right?
I am saying that Valerius made us say it. He told us if Nadia was no longer Countess.
Made you say what? The audience does not know what you're talking about.
We would get to do whatever we wanted. I do not want Nadia to be no longer Countess.
Why, thank you, Procurator. You are welcome at my table any day. Randomly. Well, what an exciting turn of events.
Okay, princess.
Yes, gently petting the worm. It seems as if the consul was the true criminal, and it had nothing to do with the rest of us. Again, still going. No one out in this court and in this trial knows that you're involved in any way at all. You've never even been mentioned.
I mean, again,
They
said
also-
the court, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're including him. It's true.
Also, if they're including Valdemar weirdly out there that no one's ever seen,
I know!
sounds strange to just go the court. And
Okay.
again, treating the court with vastly different jobs and responsibilities from each other as one entity sounds odd. The fact that they even work together at all is a little wild.
It's probably because of the trope of going, if it's not one, it's all of them.
I
Which
guess.
is fair if you're talking about systemic issues, but in this case, they really do seem to be mostly chalking up to going, see, look, individual people are the problem.
We are all innocent! Hooray! Yes, none of us did anything wrong. Countess, would you like to give any last words before judgment is passed? I would, Praetor.
Nadia seems to have recovered completely from the earlier revelations, though I catch a distant look in her eye. She takes a deep breath, and then addresses the crowd confidently, no doubt left in her face.
Okay.
No doubt left in her face?
She had doubt in her face before.
Oh, no doubt left in her face. Thank you.
Not no doubt.
I was
There's
like-
left. There is left in her face.
No doubt left in her face? What?
No doubt. Mud on her face.
I was
Sorry.
dying going, what?
It is quite clear now that it was not I, but the court, guilty of collusion today.
Because you had to be, it has to be the whole court, because that's what freaking Volta just said. She told us, he told us that we all must lie. So based on that, you're all fucking involved. That's
Also-
nope.
What kind of collusion? Collusion to get you in trouble. This has nothing to do with the murder at all. And that makes, like if you're not actually here for the reason of the trial, it can make it a mistrial.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as far as I understand, if you go, by the way, we've moved this to another legal topic. The legal topic currently here is no longer in relevance. You mistrial it, then you have to start a new trial for the new thing.
And also, you can get fined off your ass for basically wasting the court's time.
For creating a mistrial because your information was faulty and you didn't handle things well.
Yep.
Collusion. I am sorry, Vesuvia, that they have failed you as leaders so. Failed you as leaders so.
There you go. See, now we're both having grammar.
The court should serve the people, not themselves. But for 3 years, you don't know what they've been doing. They may have been serving the people.
I mean, but based on the people in the crowd, no, because the crowd has only some relevance once in a while when it decides to suit the plot. I'm
The
sorry.
crowd doesn't seem to have any opinions about the court, as if they've never met them.
No, they did about Valerius, remember? When we went to the courtyard?
Oh, they're like,
Yeah.
why is that guy this
They're
thing?
going, that's the guy who's been fucking everything up, remember? So we
kind of,
talked
yeah.
about,
But
'cause
what
that was
about
the
the-
reveal of going, oh, he was actually
What
in
about the
charge.
other ones?
I don't know, because they never seem to have an opinion on them.
Perhaps soon it will be time to examine their role in the future of our city. Not now.
Not now.
Nothing decisive. Not, perhaps I should just deinstate all of them immediately and put up job postings.
Or just go, what I'm going to do is basically temporarily put them under hold, basically
House
lock and
arrest.
key, house arrest, and we're going to do another trial and find out what the fuck has been going on. We're going to look into what they've been doing.
And then we're also going to, figure out, one, I'm going to hire actual investigators. And two, I'm going to file actual, legal representation rather than just appointing people who've never done this before. And then, after that, it's just going to be you'll just put them on trial, but you could also just strip them of their positions first. I don't know. Or again,
You
we
could
call the
temporarily
Empress
restrict them.
and or call someone above you and be like, hey,
Mommy!
we're having this problem down here.
Mommy! I'm
Mommy.
like, that's the other thing. I'm like, your sisters are here. Oh my fucking god,
But
your
also just being
sisters
like,
are here.
I can't believe your sisters didn't attend the trial. That's insane.
All right,
All
that's
right.
fine.
Perhaps soon, extremely vague, put off twice, will be time to examine their role in the future of our city.
She pauses, letting everything sink in before speaking again.
I know now you will vote to do what is right. I am clearly innocent of these charges.
Oh, we literally give no fucks about Julian at all.
Nope, it's done.
I love how much we're just not involved.
Also, just like, again, there's this experience of, did he, like, get dragged off to get hanged right now and no one gets to watch because they're all stuck here with this trial?
Mm-hmm.
It is time for the vote! Please, if you believe our beloved Countess is innocent, you must cheer!
The cheers that are up from the crowd are overwhelming. Vlastimil doesn't even bother calling for a guilty vote. With 3 bangs of his gavel.
I declare Countess Nadia Saturnava of Vesuvia not guilty. I love how delighted he is. Like, if I'm back to doing my job, then it doesn't matter that you've said we, the court, are in trouble for something, because I'm doing the job I'm supposed to be doing
Or
now.
he's hoping if he simpers strong enough, or he appeals strong enough, he won't get in as much trouble, or he will avoid getting in trouble at all.
I'm not with those guys. What should we do with this nasty consul, dear Countess? Take him away. See how he likes house arrest for a change.
That's it. Guards march toward the stand and clap Valerius in irons.
What?
He doesn't protest or even blink. His eyes are fixed firmly on me as he's dragged away. Why?
He doesn't.
We were literally an incompetent tuna. Your main character here is the most non-threatening thing you have ever run into. Couldn't even... You literally did nothing! You are not skilled at this, you're not even good at this! What happened is that Volta goes,
No, I love the pretty lady. She gives us the food.
like that was it!
Yep.
Valerius should give no fuck about you whatsoever!
Also, I'm like...
He should be angrier at Nadia.
He doesn't protest, but he's dragged away. How do you drag someone who's not resisting or protesting?
Because it's... I don't know. I'm assuming it's for dramatic effect. But you would, yeah. It is a good point going, dragging is a specific thing. It's not just dragging away. It would be like he's taken away.
Other than that, her. I have cast doubt in the entire court. I dislike and am, putting as a unit the entire court. Yes, I agree with you on the set. I hope the next step is taking everyone else away. Like, that should be the next step.
That should be it.
As for Vesuvia, you mean as for the rest of the court? As for Vesuvia, we're gonna have to find out in the next one.
My friend is just like, I'm gonna keep going, me. I'm gonna let you do this because it's fine. This is baffling to come at it from another angle. Just like, I thought it was bad before, but now this is just even
more information's made it more confusing.
It kind of
I am
has.
sad.
Anyway, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We hope to see you in Vesuvia in the next one.
Yes.
Hey, so if you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos. It is super helpful, and it actually helps save us from the algorithm. And you guys, all your support has been super great so far, but again, no obligation. We do appreciate whatever you can contribute.
Yes.
It has been great. Also, if you'd like to contribute in other ways, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We have some links in the description down below. We've also got links to our Twitch if you would like to talk to us live.
Yes.
And we would love to see you there. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!